Hi, this is Brad with Copper Creek Cuts, a lawn care company in Northeast Florida, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the raw footage that you may have seen snippets of from an earlier video. So this is Ego's commercial backpack battery and their commercial string trimmer. You may remember I had been testing this whole lineup. I spent about $3,000 to get all the components from Home Depot. That's going to include the battery at around $1,300, the charger at $200, a hedge trimmer at $400, a string trimmer at $400, and a blower at $400. Now, while most of the performance of these items was adequate or what you would expect, overall, this wasn't a good fit for my company for some ergonomics, some design reasons. And the biggest reason was because of the string trimmer. If you saw the video, then you know that while I was working on my yard, this is my property, I let it grow real tall as I could during the testing period. And then I put this string trimmer on it. It quit 5 times during this yard, just cut off. My finger was on the trigger. It did not release the trigger. For whatever reason, if it just overheated, a defective unit, if it was a design flaw, it just cut off. During the whole testing process, I continually reached out to the contact that I had at Ego. The times that I tried to reach out via email, I would either get no response or I'd get a response that didn't really address my question. You'll remember one of my videos was talking about how their marketing numbers are a little bit misleading. They responded back after like a month, and I had asked a specific question about how they came up with the numbers, and they answered with some numbers that had nothing to do with what I was talking about. So, you know, again, I'm not mad, I'm not angry, just not a very open, user-friendly process. And the reason I bring that up is because when this string trimmer did this was day 24 or 26 of a 30-day return period through Home Depot. So I had to choose, was I going to get a full refund right now from Home Depot and just, say, you know what, this system didn't work for me? Or was I going to lock myself into having spent $3 grand, possibly have my string trimmer not work? And keep in mind, the string trimmer is what I'm using 75% of the time when I'm using this system. Does it make sense to invest $3,000 into a system that 75% of the time I'm not going to be able to use? So then the other consideration is, let's say it's a defective unit and Ego just replaces it all together and sends me a brand new one. Am I still going to be then happy with the ergonomic issues that I've talked about, and let's say the performance of the handheld electric blower versus what I'm used to, the backpack gasoline blowers? And at the end of the day, the answer to me was no. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Okay, it did it again. That wasn't me that time, it just did it again. My hand did not leave that trigger.
This happened on a weekend, and I'm pretty sure that the next weekday that I had available, I just went straight to Home Depot and took everything back and said, I gave it a good go, but it wasn't a good fit for me, and then this thing turned defective, so I'm returning the whole thing. Now, performance-wise, I was very happy with the performance, aside from the thing just shutting off. So, again, the timing was unfortunate because after I posted a video on YouTube about this string trimmer's failure, within 2 days, Ego had contacted me, and they were very open to trying to fix the problem. And I told them, that's great and I appreciate it, but your timing's horrible. I've already returned the stuff to Home Depot because that video released, maybe a week after I had returned all the equipment to Home Depot. So, I said, I wish we would have had better communication through this whole process, because that would have been really nice to have your input so I could see ahead of time, was it defective? And they did feel like it was defective. And obviously I'm leaning towards defective as well, but until somebody tells me otherwise, I'm not going to invest in that platform, because I had a bad experience. All I can go off of is what I experienced, and that was a defective product, some ergonomic issues, what I felt was poor support, poor communication from the company. That is probably going to be a lot different depending on, you know, where you're sitting, what you feel like good communication is. But for all of those reasons, that's why I decided to go ahead and just return all this equipment and just go back to the gasoline stuff.
Okay, that's not me. That's the third time it's done this. Okay, that's, there we go again. It's got to be some kind of load thing. It's got to be. That was a lot less time then.
So we're reaching the end of the footage, and that's the long and short of my saga with the Ego commercial products. I don't think they're quite there yet. I know they aren't for me, and I'm willing to bet that for most folks, especially because of that blower, how weak it is. You know, if all you're doing is weekly maintenance, I think it'll be fine for you. But if your company does any kind of cleanups, any leaf cleanups, any type of overgrown properties, I do not think that handheld blower, you're not going to be happy with it. I could be wrong, but I just don't think you will be. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. I respond to comments almost daily, no matter how old a video is. If you'd like to see some more videos on the Ego system, here's a few on the screen that YouTube thinks you might like. As always, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell. If you don't do that, YouTube will not let you know when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.